Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Chapters where words come to life through poetry. I am your host, Mariama Sey.
And I am your co-host, Adama Sanyang. Today we are taking you back to the stage where words comes to life, where words take the stage to the poetry slam.
This episode, poets came with difference. Each and every single one of them had something to say to the public, had a message molded in the form of a poem. So we bring you the first poem.
It's not easy like that there. I thought we knew about this country. Well, everything I know has been said before. Jobless youth, failing economy, tribal politics, poor education system, dirty streets, immigration, corruption, capital flight, weak infrastructure. But yet, the youths are happy, Mr. President, to inherit impunity, wake up to a bootlicking contest, eat a small fat lie and walk away smiling. We are doomed. Yet we praise God for helping us create our own Judas. We act like fools, how we secretly toast in the name of food. We love the monkeys, we are the baboons freaking confused. Touche, right? Safe to say we say fight, then get a hangover drinking our own weight. Newport, Bookie, Haji Dippo, Falewin Ken. We know no laws. Somebody go tell Halifa Sallah, we now know laws. We have lost truth and our hearts with it. We have lost love and this country with it. We have lost God and our culture with it. We have lost value and our worth with it. We have cried and tongues we are bit off. Touche, right? Cut the national cake and keep it for the sit tight. Complain of waste, ache, or recover in hell. We take good things in bad conditions. Crack jokes and be angered by them. Our faults are the size of the stadium. Oh, now we need Oga to descend. To show us how to subdue this art. To end us lap dancing each other to hell. To stop romancing the truth. Because in the end, we're suffering on our own. As we kill each other, we inevitably die alone.
That was the first poem. It was one of the poems that stood out the most.
Yeah.
I think it had some key issues that I think people wanted to address. So Senabu did us the great job of.
That's why they say poetry is the voice of the voiceless.
Exactly. So the poem basically addressed everything that the country is going through. Like the one that paid me most is the bread.
They can be the
It's the $12 bread.
They can be
my favorite thing about her poem is she put every poem. It was like every stanza with its own problem. Each stanza came up with its own problem.
I can say she was one of my favorite poems during the poetry slam, and I feel like she said a message that that is not only about us, but a message also that goes to the government. And at a certain point, I feel like yes, the poem is talking about, let's say, mostly about the hardship in the Gambia. Yeah. So I was like, she already mentioned 95%, let's say 99% of the hardship the Gambians are going through.
Yes.
So after hearing that poem, I was like, what are the solutions?
Exactly. So this is where poetry plays a very important part.
Thank you.
Right? You present the people. These are the problems. This is the hardship that we're going through. Like you rightly said, it wasn't just for the citizens, but it was for the government as well, right? They on that stage were sharing problems that needed immediate solutions, and I think that is the beauty of poetry, right? Okay. So,
and to everyone who listened to that poem, I think after listening to it, you should ask yourself, what are the solutions that we need to take in order at least to solve, let's say, 95 or 75% of those problems. If the government cannot solve the entire problem.
But as the leaders of this country, I think the change starts with them. That is the thing. So that was the first poem. We move to the second one.
The title of my piece is Echoes and Choices. They said the sun has set, like hope falling into night's cold hands. Darkness wears us like second skin stitched with silence. They clap for shadows, call it truth, blind to mirrors that reflect the lies buried beneath their very roots. It's like we've all agreed to bury dawn with our own bare hands, to raise a glass to darkness like dawn packed up and left. But wait, a small voice whispers, no be so, like a breeze that bends but would break. It still finds a path through tight corners. Because even silence can shiver. Even a whisper, when it holds truth, can trample the bones of the loudest lie. The past still echoes, like chains wrapped tied across our chests. They said we are born to break, but not to break free. I say lie. I choose to shatter silence, to wear truth out loud like thunder wears rain. I chose myself, to stand where they expected me to be. To let the light I carry blaze, even when the sky tries to bleed my name, and to watch whispers fade like morning mist on mango leaves. You see, I'm not their silence, not their shame, not the version of me they prayed would stay small. My strength, it not be theirs to define. I am not what they bear, and I am the blue that grew anyway. Roots deep, petals defiant, reaching towards a sun they said would never rise. And with every rising sun, I will choose myself. Again and again, like a breath that used to break, like a name that used to die in their mouths. Then plant me like shame when I grow with pride between cracked earth. This race is not over. Not while I'm still standing. Not while these feet still burn hole into the belly of the dust. And my name is Ajifutankeh Sey.
It was a beautiful piece. It reminded me as a woman, personally, it reminded me as a woman that what are the struggles that we are going through in the society, and yet we don't let that define us. We stand up every fall, we fight, and this isn't just for my gender, but for everyone that is out there trying to change the narratives for yourself and for everyone. I think it was a beautiful piece.
Ajiramu's poem was, I can say all these poems are my favorite. You know, there's something in me that whenever I'm listening to a particular poem, I always, after listening to the poem, I always sit and say, did I learn something? Yes, yeah. Did I learn something? And if yes, then I feel like what I learned, I should also try to put it in place. Yeah. I mean, so Ajiramu's poem, I can say, is basically based on self-encouragement. Yeah. I mean, you should not wait for someone to come and tell you, Mariama Sey, look, you should do this, you should do this. You should first ask yourself, what should I do? So, like, if you ask yourself what you should do, obviously, there must be answers. You must have answers. So after having that answers, if it is not enough for you, then you can go and ask people around. Those that you trust, those that you think that if you tell them, they might encourage you or even give you solutions to your problems. But let's say there are many people out there, people like me, if you have your problem, you said that I can solve it by my own. It's true that self-encouragement is very, very, very important, but I also feel like for you to realize, because it's not possible for you to realize everything in you. There must be something that you will not see, and people out there are seeing it. So it's good to communicate with people, and they will guide you, and they will also, obviously, they will encourage you.
I think the fact that you are encouraging yourself to be better than you were yesterday, I think that enough isn't like, let's say for example, months ago I was a person that depended solely on myself, right? And I have seen there wasn't much, let's say, things that I could do on my own, but trying to be that better person, I am now involving people in some other things that I don't understand.
Sure.
It's good to ask questions.
Yeah.
But I think I love how she presented the poem. Her energy was beautiful.
Every word go with a gesture, the movement of the body, everything.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing. Right?
Obviously.
And
so even if you're not seeing it, like you just listen it to an audio, you will feel yourself.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
That is what is they called communication with the audience. That was that connection.
The connection was there.
Everyone felt that this poem was about me. Yeah, it was a beautiful piece. That was Ajira Sey right there, and we move to the next poem.
Story time. When baby Gambia was given birth by Africa, she was too thin. She carried loads of anxiety. But her survival became a risk in a cage forced to live in, forced to survive in races. She grew up as a merchant in the indirect rule system, taught to function as the prostitute of colonialism. Her depression led her to lose weight in development. Her own language became a sin to speak. Her beak felt like a thrown rock soaked in a merciless down, which made her believe the Western tongue defines her intelligence. However, the spirit of nationalism enchanted the imposed colonial system. The dreaming of independence began to flow like rain in summer. Her first son, her second son, and other sons raised the flag of freedom for Mother Gambia. The monster was plucked in terror. Now his plans lit. Edward Francis Small created a song, "No taxation without proper representation," drumming the anthem of royalty, grooming the words of morality. The same son, praised as the father of Gambian politics. More unions were fluted in mouths. Kwali said the call for freedom to end range and foreign might. He gathered strength, prepared to fight with wisdom's voice and courage bright, calling a justice a righteous light. Through unity the chains could break. He said, no more oppression's cruel stake. His people's heart so brave and true, knew what together he could do. So the Gambia regained her consciousness. But the tradition complicated her health. Her children wrote a slogan of pledge. We strive and walk and pray that all may live in unity, freedom and peace each day. February 65, a moment grand, freedom echoed through the land with colors bold and spirits high. The nation rose beneath the sky in a land so big where the river flows. The Gambia was born from the name, her name was Coast, the smiling coast of Africa. But remember once, dear mama, where history still seemed to heal the sun, to mend the past that held hands strong, to heal the pains that healed so long. Together stand united hearts, true love and care, the healing starts. The Gambia's dream, big and bright, shall lead her soul to endless light, that no hocus pocus withheld from glowing or brightening every nook and cranny in Africa.
I think that was my favorite poem of the night, because it represented the Gambia's history so well, so beautifully.
Every detail was intact.
There, I felt like, for a moment, I felt like I was traveling through time. You know, that's how beautiful the poem.
So imagine, I almost forgot the let's say 50% of the history of the Gambia, but that day, you know, Joara pushed me back. Joara was like, no, you cannot forget your history. Yeah. You must always remember your history.
And I think I think what made her poems stood out was every time poets come on stage to present a poem, they're always, concentrated about the current government and the hardship
that people are going through.
It's always so serious. Sometimes it's good to make people forget about the problems, the hardship that they're going through. Give them some entertainment. Like I told you, for a moment I feel like I was traveling through time. Like I was there present when Edward Francis Moore was leading the protest.
I was like, I was imagining if I was seeing Edward Francis Moore on that
it was a beautiful piece.
Indeed,
and
it was.
How she presented it.
And she even reminded me of the national anthem, right? For the Gambia, our homeland.
No, it was a beautiful piece.
Actually, I did not forget the national anthem, but sometimes I can only do the primary one. For the Gambia, our homeland.
I'm sure if I were to ask you to continue, then
I'll obviously continue. But I will use the primary school one. For the Gambia, our homeland.
I think the way she presented the poem was beautiful.
Yeah.
Her comportment. She knew when to move, how to move, and it was just a beautiful.
You see, Senabu, Ajiramo, and Juara, and all of those poets there.
Yes.
I mean, when they are reading the time they were reciting their poem, I feel each and every one of them, and I think the reason why I feel them was because their words go with their actions, and their actions also go with the body language. Yeah. Even I was like, even if I was not concentrating much to them, they always pull me, bring me back to listen to what they're saying. Yeah. They will force you to listen, while they will not point finger at you, while they will not shout at you, Mariama, listen to me. But you yourself, there are certain words that will pull you back.
Certain lines, sometimes the word play will definitely, like, personally.
The last time I told you guys that poetry is like a football. You play with the ball anyhow you feel like.
Exactly.
And playing with that ball anyhow you feel like, that what bring people's attention to what you're actually saying, which is very important. So to poetry we belong, and to poetry we shall die.
You shall die. I'm not dying for poetry. Okay, guys. That was really beautiful. But everything, as usual, must come to an end. So that is all we had for you today. I hope you enjoy each piece and learned whatever they were.
And after learning them, ask yourself questions, and the next step that you should take. Not only learning, but when you learn something, you're bound to put them in actions.
Are you putting everything that you learned into action?
Yeah, I am.
Are you sure about
That's why
that?
Today I am here. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Today I am here. Yes.
That is good. That is amazing. So, guys, that was all we had for you today. So, see you guys next week.